As soon as we walked into the courtyard, Dad waved us over to a table. The umbrella beckoned as I already felt myself sweating from the thick, humid heat. Jess linked her arm with mine as we headed over to the table.
"Get much unpacking done?"
Dad asked as soon as we were all seated. I did, not so much Jess.
"Were you too distracted, Jessica?"
Dad asked with a wry smile. What do you mean?
"I'm not that old, you know. You think I didn't notice the way you and that young man were looking at each other? I happen to know he took your bags upstairs."
Jess's cheeks took on an uncharacteristic blush. Oh, yeah, Billy seems pretty cool.
"Thought so. Just be careful, he's quite a few years older than you are."
Dad, stop.
"Her father isn't here. I have to at least try to provide some semblance of parental authority."
He leaned back in his chair. Because you know so much about parental authority. I trailed off. Dad's glare told me I was about to cross a line.
"Speaking of parents, Allie, I had a little chat with the father of a friend of yours."
I didn't like the expression he wore. Something bad was coming. You actually know some of my friend's parents? Cranky from the drive, I wasn't holding back.
"Yes, Tyler Henderson told me something interesting."
He searched my face. And what did Mr. Henderson have to say? I groaned. Toby must have gone crying to his dad.
"He told me you and Toby were experiencing some sort of misunderstanding."
A misunderstanding?
"Yes, I let him know that I thought the two of you were old enough to work out your problems yourself."
Dad smiled. I can't believe his dad called you. But to be honest, did you even know Toby and I were dating?
Hey, give credit where credit is due. I know more about your life than you think.
You've seen me twice in the last year. You barely ever come home to visit anymore. I tried not to let it get to me too much, but he'd always made it clear that Westchester, even with me there, was the last place he wanted to be.
"True, but we video chat once a week. I thought you liked that."
Jess laughed. You Skype, Mr. Davis?
First, Allie accuses me of not knowing anything about her life. Now you think I'm incapable of using basic technologies. You ladies are hard to dine with. But we're together now, Allie. Isn't that what matters?
So, does that mean you'll be sticking around this summer? I took a sip of water, already sure of his response.
I will be in and out. I'll try to be around as much as possible, but you know travel is part of my business. One of the reasons I invited you down here was to introduce you to that business. You need to start getting your feet wet. This is going to be your company one day."
Words sat on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't let them out. I wanted to tell him that I didn't want his business, but that was a fight for another day. He took advantage of my silence.
"Are you going to tell me what happened with Toby?"
"Nothing happened, it just didn't work out."
"That's it? That's all you're going to give me? Jessica, a little help here."
"Sorry, I'm not getting in the middle of this." Jess held up her hands in defense. "Can we please change the subject?"
"We can, once you tell me what happened."
He swirled around the ice in his glass as though he had all the time in the world. I knew otherwise, so I didn't leave him waiting. He isn't the one for me. There was nothing real between us.
"You're not going to elaborate more? He just wasn't the one?"
He made air quotes. What else is there to say? There were no sparks. All he ever wanted to talk about was our future careers and how great it was that our families would join if we got married.
Is that all he talked about? Last time I checked, 18-year-old boys had other things on their minds.
"Dad," I snapped. There are certain conversations a girl never wants to have with her father. Evidently, he got the hint.
"All right, I'll drop it. But who would have believed a daughter of your mother and I would grow up to be a romantic?"
Did you ever think I ended up this way because of your relationship with Mom? I could go on for hours about everything that was wrong in the relationship between my parents, but the cliff notes are that they were married 5 years and split up 2 years after I was born. As though he could read my thoughts, Dad looked at me sympathetically. "I don't mean to do..."